Bhatia. A very warm welcome to you at my channel, Align and Attract with Neha Bhatia. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to you at this 3-day NLP challenge. Yes, just in case if you don't know what NLP is, it's one of the most fastest, the quickest method to train your subconscious mind. And this is a 3-day challenge wherein I'm not talking much about NLP. We are just straight away doing the techniques. And we're working on three things. First day, which was yesterday, we worked on moving from fear to courage, fear to confidence, and fear to freedom. And today, we are working on moving from guilt to forgiveness. Okay, and also how to be more creative once you've forgiven yourself, forgiven the other people, once you're completely out of guilt, because whenever somebody has guilt, they are unable to be creative. Okay, so once again, a very warm welcome to you, everybody. This is Neha Bhatia. I'm an NLP trainer and a communication specialist, and today we'll be doing a very powerful technique and a very simple technique. It will hardly take 5 to 7 minutes to actually reprogram your mind and also bring yourself once in the present moment. To be very honest with you, I know that if you're watching this, you are somebody who is experiencing those challenges of unable to forgive. Like, I know of a lot of people who go back in the past again and again. Okay, and they're not able to forgive themselves or the other person. So how to really forgive the other person, how easy that is through NLP. We have some advanced level techniques as well. Usually in NLP we have around 18 techniques. Okay, but when you categorize it more, when you go into the depth of it, there are more than 350 NLP techniques, which a lot of people don't know about. Okay, and there are very minute techniques which I work on when I'm sitting with people privately or also in group. Okay, I mean, if you just go through my some of my videos wherein some of my clients have mentioned how just in 30 minutes their depression have gone, how they were trying to figure out, they wanted to get married for a long time, and all of a sudden, just a second. Okay, so we also have clients who who are not earning at all, and they were or who were stuck with a certain income, and now they have their income growing. So all the areas of your life can be fulfilled, and you can grow in your life, you can evolve in your life once you understand NLP in a little bit more deeper way. So for that, I would definitely like to invite you to our upcoming webinar. I'm going to put the link in the description box. It's free of cost. It's on Monday. I have a little bit of a cough. I'm getting better. So it's on Monday. However, we'll just do this technique, and it's a very, very powerful technique. It's called timeline. So let me just explain it to you very briefly. Timeline simply means that when we are unable to forgive, or when we are living in this, guilt, and we are not able to become creative, we are very dull, we have a very low energy. Okay, so which means that somewhere down the line we are not able to be in the present. So either our mind is in the past or it's in the future. It's like a pendulum moving like this, right? So how to actually bring your mind absolutely in the present and also remove the state of being guilty. Okay, uh, there's this thing that I've often observed when I see people, let's say a lot of weight, a lot of fat. Okay, or even if it's a lot of diseases that is visible, right? Or if it's lots of marks on their body, which is very visible. Everything that we are experiencing outside is a manifestation of what we experience inside. Okay, so one of them, like some days, some days, if I look at somebody, even if myself as well, if I see that, what, I have dark circles or I have a little bit of fat, anything, with all due respect and with all due with loving myself, accepting myself, um I know that that fat and that disease or anything that's manifesting on the body, it's nothing. It is being too much apologetic all the time. Okay, especially when we are guilty. um it's being lack of self acceptance. It is about being having that self criticism all the time. So there are multiple emotions which come in the form of different kind of diseases and or lots of fat on our body. I mean, why do you think people do overeating? One of the biggest reason of overeating is that people are guilty. Okay, it's a very common habit Definitely people have triggers, but it's also to do with certain emotions which needs to be satisfied. So this technique is very powerful, very simple. I'm gonna do it for a short. Yeah, I'm just gonna switch to. All right, so I'm using another internet now. Okay, so here's the thing. So this is how you need to sit when you're doing this particular process, okay? And imagine that this is your present. This is your present, okay? And let's say if you go a little bit back, let's say here, this is say around 10 years ago, okay? And if you go a little bit more further back, then that's your when you were say around 3 years old or 2 years old. Okay, I'm just gonna fix this also at the back. Okay, now let me just, yeah, this is better. So this is on the left is my past, okay? Here is my present, and here on the right is my future, okay? So look at it very carefully. Here is like say around 10 years, after 10 years, and then more further is like, for example, 30 years, okay? So you just have to think for a moment, take your time, just think for a moment. Where is it that you feel guilty in your life? Who are you unable to forgive? Yourself or somebody else? Okay? And just think for a few seconds, not more, 7 to 8 seconds. Okay. And now, keeping your hand here, slowly take it this side. So let's say 10 years before. Okay. So your younger version, your 10 years younger version. Okay, now you could be in your 50s, you could be in your 30s, 40s, whatever age. Now you are at 10 years, you're looking at your 10-year younger version. I want you to imagine that this 10-year younger version of you is looking at this present you, who is unable to forgive, who is having difficulty in forgiving himself or herself, who is constantly in the past. So how will this younger version look at this present version? Just for a moment, observe it. What would he say or think, especially for the situations that you're unable to forgive, a little bit before that? Okay, so take your hand a little bit before that in your past timeline. Okay, now go a little bit more further. Let's say when you were 2 years old. When you were 2 years old. Okay, so keep your hand like this, right? When you were 2 years old. Now, would you remember how you were? Keep your hand like this only. Would you remember how you were? You were like a very neutral child, right? If somebody is laughing, you would laugh along. If somebody is crying, you would just watch, but you were neutral with any emotions. So now I want you to just connect with that 2 year old version of you and just be with that version for a few seconds. If you could remember, whatever you could remember, cute face, laughing, crying, or whatever it is. And now just bring that 2 year old version here in the present and put it in the heart. Just feel the neutralness, the balancedness, or being absolutely neutral to that particular this particular situation, the present situation that you're experiencing of the past, and put it in your heart. Put that inner child, that little child in your heart today. Okay. Now once again, bring your hand in the present. Okay. And now take it a little bit further. In fact, take it 10 years, 10 years ahead. Let's say this is 2023, let's say 2033. Okay. And I want you to really look at the person, see like this, okay? I want you to look at this person who is now mature, evolved, who has seen a lot, who has gone through a lot, who has loved a lot, who has been loved a lot, who has progressed a lot professionally, financially, and in many areas of his or her life. Okay, in your life, basically. Okay, so this person, your future self. Okay, your future self, and just see how this future self is looking at this present self, and what advice would this future self give to this present self about the situation that is bothering you, of not being forgiving, of being guilty of the past. So this is an evolved you, okay? Evolved and a future and a more mature you, okay? So just take your time, take a moment with yourself. Take your time, take a moment with yourself. Take a deep breath in. Feel the presence of the more evolved and a progressed version of you. And now bring it here in the present. And feel the presence of this person. Okay? And now bring that once again back in your heart. And now feel the presence of that little you who was neutral and also of the future you who was more evolved, who is more evolved. Feel the presence of both of them and how they have observed this situation. And just say to your present self, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Amazing. And now slowly open your eyes. All right, so how was it? Please write down in the comment box. I made you do only once. We usually make people do at least 5 to 6 times and a little bit more advanced, which will take around 20 minutes or so to see a much powerful version of yourself, especially if you are unable to forgive for the past mistakes that you've done or somebody else have done and you've not been able to forgive. So please write down in the comment box how was it and how did you feel, and if you think. Thank you, Ritik. Thank you so much. And if you feel that it was even a little bit powerful, I really want to invite you to our upcoming webinar, which is happening on this Monday, 8 p.m. It is called Fear to Freedom NLP webinar, NLP Masterclass. It will be for approximately 2 hours, and we'll go a little bit more deeper into the methods and techniques. It's going to be a beautiful webinar. We've done it many times, and people have benefited a lot out of it. So please join us on. Monday. If you don't have the link, I'm going to share the link with you in the description box, and or you can just write to us at nlpwithneha.com. nlpwithneha.com. Just write to us in the comment in the chat box. We'll be sharing with you the link for our upcoming webinar. If this technique helped you 1%, believe you me, that webinar is going to take you to the next level of this, because this is just a micro mini thing that is like the father of this. And then after that, of course, we would also like to invite you to our upcoming workshops and long-term memberships as well. Thank you so much, everybody. Do join us on the webinar, and I'm going to see you tomorrow for the third day of the 3-day NLP challenge. And tomorrow we are going to work on the most powerful, magical technique. It's from self doubt to self confidence. Please do join us tomorrow at 9 p.m. sharp. Thank you. Bye.